everyone, and welcome to Virginia for the U.S. Open 9-Ball Championships for 2003. I'm Jim White alongside Billy and Cardona here. And Billy, what a feature match we've got on the center table today. A clash of former world champions.
Clearly upper echelon players. Johnny Archer, 34 years old, has 4 world championships behind him. Mika Immonen only 1, but that's a lot. Not much separates these two players. The demeanor at the table, pretty much a wash. Desire to win, pretty much a wash. Shot-making ability, pretty much a wash. The break, a wash. But something that's very commonly overlooked is ambition. I think between these two players, Immonen has a little more ambition than Archer. That may be the difference. I pick Immonen in a squeaker, but every time I pick against Archer, I'm usually wrong.
Well, we know one thing, Billy's doing a lot of laundry because everything seems to be a wash. Well, I know the players are waiting in the wings and they're chomping at the bit to get out here. So without further ado, let's pass it right over to our MC, Scott Smith, for our player intros.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the 28th edition of the United States Open 9-Ball Championships, and you're tuned to the Billiard Club Network. Our officials for this evening's program, our official rack girl is Miss Stacy Govea. Can we have a hand for Stacy Govea, please? And our official ring card girl, Miss Heather Evans. And at this time, we'd like to introduce the two principals in this matchup. Coming out of the red corner, currently ranked number 13 in the world, player representative for Team Amsterdam's, also player representative for Capone Custom Cues, former World Pool Association World 9-Ball champion from Helsinki, Finland. Please welcome Mr. Mika Immonen, table number 8. Thank you. And his opponent is the number 1 seed in this tournament, player representative for Scorpion Cues, the pool room in Marietta, Georgia, sponsored on tour by the Brass Rail in Athens, Georgia. 4 times he's been voted Player of the Year, 4-time World 9-Ball champion. Please welcome the main man from Atlanta, Georgia, number 1 in the world, Mr. Johnny Archer. Thank you very much. We'll be right back with the lag.
Rack 'em up. Catch all the action online at www.billiardclub.net and see the U.S. Open 9-Ball Championship. Watch all feature matches in their entirety and commercial-free. See every single shot from start to finish, including interviews with the pros through the latest and greatest in streaming video technology. Online at billiardclub.net. Log on today and experience pool with your front row seat at billiardclub.net.
Well, the all-important lag to initiate this match, one that is a real, well, it's a very difficult one to pick. We already alluded to that, but what a confrontation this presents, Billy.
And I think the match is going to go just like the lag just went, very close. Archer winning the lag, but I predicted Immonen to win the match 11-10, you know, by the slimmest of margin. But he doesn't have to. Johnny Archer is 4-time world champion. He has all the tools. He just hasn't won recently. And, you know, and I think that the ambition factor that I was talking about a little earlier is going to come into play here. And Mika has the ambition, more ambition than Archer does, and I think that's why he may come up on top of this match.
Well, Billy, we couldn't possibly overstate how big the break is in this, and I've got a feeling that is going to be the determining factor in this match. Johnny Archer, for me, just has a slightly better break than does Mika Immonen. And for me, that might well prove to be the difference in Archer's favor. So I'm going to go against my colleague here, and I'm going to pick Archer just by a whisker, though.
You know, I'm not going to argue with you because I know you're a very intelligent man. You play the game extremely well.
The check's in the mail.
You have very good discretion. And it's hard to choose against Archer when you want to pick a winner. Archer has proven me wrong so many times.
Here we go. It's a race to 11. A place on the winner's side awaits. One into the side pocket. We've seen that often on this center table.
Yes, we have. And he got a nice kiss off the, I believe it was the 7-ball, pushing the 2-ball a little bit further down table where now it's bankable cross corner, Jim. The 3-ball's positioned near the lower left-hand corner pocket. And it looks like Archer's going to obviously... He's going to obviously bank the 2, cross corner. The cue ball is going to be a little suspect here. It's going to be going in this angle here. These are potential interfering balls. I'm kind of curious to see how he deals with position on the 3. Position on the 3 may be a problem. It's more difficult than the bank itself.
Well, a big shot at a very early stage in the match. The first hurdle of many, one thinks.
So therefore, you know, he has to be concerned about the cue ball control more so than the bank, but he can't disregard the importance of the bank. Notice the cue ball control, staying away from those 2 balls, staying on the inside, away from both the 4 and the 8.
Well, no applause, but that was executed about as well as he could have played the shot.
Okay, another area here of concern will be cue ball then comes this way and this way. It's somewhere in this area here for position. If he ran into the 3, brushed it slightly for the 4. Excuse me, he ran into the 5, I should have said.
Still in prime position. He should be able to just snick this into that side pocket, Billy, and the natural angle again is going to be taking that cue ball around the angles for that 5.
Now the problem here, Jim, is the 6 ball on the cushion right here. This is the 6. The angle he'll be taking is 1, 2. You make him up here and stop here, and I think that's what he should do. If he even stops over here, he'll still have the right angle to pocket the 3, sending the cue ball here and staying on this side of the table for the 6.
Well, Johnny's just had a quick word with Mika. Now, I'm not too sure exactly what was being asked. Possibly just confirming whether or not it was going to be all fouls here.
That's what he's tried to do. See, he's tried to attain the angle that I thought he would, but he hit it a little too hard, Jim. And he's found himself slightly out of line on the 5. Now he has an option. He can either, if he has the angle, he'll cut the 5 into this pocket, drawing the cue ball over here and back over for position for the 6. The 7's on the other side of the table.
Archer has been a model of consistency in his career. Certainly one that many have patterned their games after. He's got a great approach to professional pool, doesn't he, Billy?
He certainly has. It's
all
a very,
business.
Very methodical player, very deliberate, takes his time, makes sure he makes the right decisions, clearly makes the right decisions almost all the time. 4 world championships will attest to that.
Player of the decades in the 90s. And what a start this is for him.
It's very important to get out of the gate quickly, particularly in this match, Jim.
The Scorpion looks like stinging first here in the opening rack. 9 down, and Archer, a break and finish to open things up here in Chesapeake. 1-0 over Mika Immonen.
Where can you find videos of the best players in the world in their entirety and without commercials? AccuStats.com. Only one place has it all. Check out our complete catalog on the net 24 hours a day. Where do you ask? AccuStats.com.
Well, just get those balls in place, and Archer will be having at him again. And just a quick check. Very important that all the balls are touching. He wants a total displacement of that diamond cluster. Just as important, let's slot that bead over to your side of the score sheet.
Archer, one of the few players that have opted to go with the power break on the featured table, Jim. As you well know, the matches that we've done on the featured table, the break speed index usually indicates around 17, 18 miles per hour. Not Archer. He wants to go with the power break, as we have just seen. Pocketing another ball on the break. He's come up with a shot on the 1. I do believe it's cuttable into the upper left-hand corner. 2 ball is positioned right here. 3 ball right here. So therefore, the ideal angle that he would like to attain on the 2 is somewhere around here.
Very thin cut on this one, though. The cue ball across side cushions, the 8 could be a problem.
Okay, now from my vantage point, Jim, as well as from yours, I'm not sure whether or not he can pocket the 2.
Very close, regardless, Bill, and the way he's queuing up to it. He's going to be elevating the cue butt, so even if he does have to go over an edge of that 8, he should be able to do that here.
One good thing in his favor, he does have the correct angle.
That's an early mistake, an unforced error from Johnny Archer.
If you can call it an error, because quite frankly, Jim, he was really up against it there. He may have even had to jump over a part of the 8. contacted two in the right.
It looked like he did, Bill. But again, I think Archer will tell you that that's one he should have buried.
Immonen's first opportunity at the table. All balls are spread really quite nicely over the table. I don't really foresee any problems out there, Jim.
Mika Immonen, a former WPA world champion, hails from Helsinki, Finland. Has been a mainstay on the European Mosconi Cup side now for a number of years. And that will be taking place in your hometown come December. Las Vegas, Nevada. The MGM Grand will be the home for the Mosconi Cup this year. A lot of people looking forward to that.
Very nicely controlled cue ball with the speed and also, I might add, the direction. Ending up in the optimum position on the table for the 5 leading to the 6, which is adjacent to the 5. Pocket the 5 in the corner, 6 in the side. In the 8 underneath him now. That's the way it should be.
Both players had ample time to practice on this table before setting this match out.
A little bit of indecision out there on Mika's behalf right here. It doesn't look like he's landed exactly where he wanted to be, so let's see what he does from here. He didn't. He's going 2 cushions, playing position for the 8 in the side. Definitely will accept what he's got here. Shouldn't have much of a problem. This is rack number 2, Jim.
And you can see mistakes are going to be punished in this match. Very high quality. Mika Immonen buries that 9 and squares it up at 1 rack apiece here. It's a race to 11. And he'll be breaking off in rack number 3.
The game starts with a clean table. Get it clean with Chalk Off, the official pool table cleaner of the U.S. Open 9-Ball Championship. Just spray it on and wipe it off. That's all it takes. Clean your pool table in less than 60 seconds with Chalk Off and the new microfiber Brunge. It's a brush and a sponge all in one. For more information, call us toll-free. Visit chalkoff.com or call your local retailer and ask for it by name. That's Chalk Off, the complete pool table cleaner.
Now, like I mentioned to you before, you said that the difference in this match could be the power of Archer's break, and I said Immonen has a good break as well. So, we're going to have a chance to see exactly how powerful Immonen's break is if he opts to choose to use the power break.
Going to be clearly on display. 1 apiece. And Mika Immonen wants to try and push himself into the comfort zone here, give himself a little breathing space. And a good break will certainly aid that quest.
There's the 9.
9 down. How about that? And guess what that gets? Mika Immonen, he knows. Look at him walking over. That's Carmine Sardo, one of the makers of the Sardo tight rack, and there's 5 crisp $100 bills for Mika Immonen. The sponsorship bonus here in Chesapeake. Isn't that something? $500 and Mika Immonen. There's your dinner money for the week.
That's a pretty good incentive to break the balls a little bit harder and opt to go with that power break, isn't it, Jim?
Well, what I found funny is we saw a match earlier in this tournament where the Filipino star, Rodolfo Luat, broke the balls, and the $500 came out, and I think it surprised him. Maybe he thought he was getting his entry fee back and was being ushered out of the tournament.
That's pretty funny. But
there's Stacy Gouveia. She's going to be racking the balls here for this match. She actually hails from Canada. Just applying the rack to those balls and making sure that every one of them is touching.
Let's see if he can do it again. I noticed when they were practicing breaking the balls, the 9 was going toward that pocket with some regularity, Jim. Not this time.
But he did hit it a little harder than he would normal. I wonder if he was trying to get that stake up to $1,000. Every time that 9 is pocketed off the break, you'll see that $500 appear.
Archer steps to the table. I'm not quite sure whether or not he can pocket the 1 from the position the cue ball and the 1 are in at this time. From my vantage point, once again, it's difficult for me to be able to determine what kind of a shot he has, if any, Jim.
Well, a scoreline 2-1 in Immonen's favor now. So Johnny's going to have to try and put that right. And if he can get through to this one, he's got a glorious chance here, Bill, but it looks very close as to whether he can see enough of that one to make it into the corner.
Well, evidently he can pocket the one. He's taking the stance at the table that suggests that he can pocket the one. He's drawn the cue ball back a little bit further than he wanted to, and he's found himself out of line on the 2. Had he drew the cue ball back to this area right here, considering where the 3 is, he would have been able to control the cue ball for the 3 in this area here, but he can't do that now.
Now he's forced to try and run that cue ball around the angles and possibly play the 3 into the corner pocket.
Well, what he might be able to do, Jim, is pocket the 2, running the cue ball into the 4, impeding the progress of the cue ball, staying around this area for position for the 3 in the side pocket. Not a very easy shot to execute, but we're talking about upper echelon players here.
Well, Bill, I think he's had a look at that. But if he hits the other side of that 4 ball, then guaranteed he's going to leave himself hooked on that 3.
That's an excellent point you brought up. So therefore, to ensure himself that he doesn't hit the wrong side of the 4, he'll probably cut the 2 a little thinner. So if this ball is missed, it'll probably be missed by an overcut.
Well, how about that?
Well, he hit
That'll work.
Yeah, that certainly will work. I don't know if that's the way he planned it, but it certainly worked out well.
The mighty heave-ho, and ideally positioned now to snatch rack number 4.
Now, he has to be careful not to push the 8 in a position where it may be a problem later on in the rack. The 8 does block the pocket to the the lower right-hand corner, but he does have the lower left-hand corner available for the 6. Very good alignment with the cue ball from the 5 to the 6. That's an ideal angle. Choosing the side pocket for position for the 6. Ended up with a slight angle. Favorable for position for the 7. He's looking pretty smooth, Jim.
Well, Bill, as you mentioned earlier, he's got 4 world championships under his belt, and he's still a force to be reckoned with. He keeps raising the bar on his own game. If we get a chance, we'll see if we can find his wife Melanie in the audience. She'll be sitting just over to Johnny's left. We'll get a look at her. And the Archers, I believe, are expecting their first child. I understand that Melanie is pregnant at this point in time, so we certainly wish them all the best, and she'll be happy to see that 9 ball go down. That squares the score at 2-2, Archer and Immonen.
And there's Melanie right there, a very beautiful woman. Certainly has selected a wise choice in Archer, and equally has selected a wise choice in Melanie.
You got out of that one quite nicely, Bill. 2-2 the score line, a race to 11 again.
Diamond. They say diamonds are a girl's best friend. But in pool, diamonds are the player's best friend. And these diamonds are made in the USA. Diamond pool tables, designed by players for players. Diamond is the official table of professional pool. To get your diamond pool table, call 812-288-7665 or visit us online at diamondbilliardproducts.com. Play with the best. Diamond.
We're back with you here at the Conference Center, Chesapeake, Virginia, the 2003 U.S. Open 9-ball championships. And what a match in store for us. 5-5 the current score line.
Yeah, this match is giving us everything we expected to see from a match of this importance in this caliber of players. You know, Johnny Archer and Mickey Immonen, 2 of the world's finest players, have certainly come prepared to play in this match.
And Johnny all set to crack into them now. Been very little to choose from. You know what Johnny's order of the day would be? He'd like to string a few racks together, Billy, and get himself into the free fly zone.
I believe that's what both of those players have in mind, but the tough part is doing it. You know, pocketing a ball on a break, coming up with a shot, and then taking care of business after that. Pocketing a ball on the break. And let's take a look where the 2 is. The 2 is at the other end of the table. Problems. Okay, what I see from from my position, or from my vantage point, I should say, is that he can bank the 2 this way here, setting the cue ball in this direction over here, possibly, you know, pushing it against the 9 and the 8 and creating a lot of problems for Mika when he comes to the table using the 8 as a blocker. He's forced to do that, Jim. He doesn't really have much of an option.
No, he can't really attack from this perspective, that's for sure, Bill. But I'll tell you, even the safety is difficult, isn't it?
Absolutely. Keep in mind that the distance the cue ball is from the 2 and the closeness from the rail the cue ball is from the rail makes this shot play extremely difficult. But I tell you what, he executed it as perfectly as one could.
The speed was the key on that. There's no way he was going to be leaving the 2, even had he not got that cue ball in behind the 9. And Mika is taking a worm's eye look at it.
And he really doesn't have much room for error on this kick, Jim. He doesn't have really, unless he can hit the part of the rail that his cue stick is on right there. If he can hit this part of the cushion, then he can contact the 2. But if that's not available, he's going to be very hard-pressed in hitting the 2.
Well, Billy, that's what he was having a real good look to just check and see that he could get the cue ball just past that side pocket. And again, if it offers contact to the 2, now the other option would be to try and jump over the edge of that 9, but he's very close to it.
I think a little too close to the 9. If he can only hit right here, he's going to have to apply a lot of left-hand spin on the cue ball to send himself toward the 2. And when he imparts that English on the cue ball, we'll be able to see it. Excuse me, right-hand English. I'm sorry. I thought I knew the difference between my left and my right, and Jim corrected me. Thank you, Jim. Anyways, when he imparts that English on the cue ball, we'll be able to see it on the monitor with the dots.
Well, he's got the 2. And it looks like he's got it safe as well. Now, there's a chance here. A very difficult one at that, but if Johnny could get that cue ball between the 4 and the cushion, as we look at it, you can see if he flicks that 2, that cue ball is going to be coming right down towards the 9.
Yeah, but the problem I see in this shot, Jim, is that the 4 is so close to the side cushion, I believe he's going to contact the 4. I don't believe he's going to be able to hit the 2, shooting down the cushion.
That was a great shot Immonen played.
Oh,
he's got Archer in all kinds of trouble right now.
I don't think Archer has the option to choose this route to hit the 2. I don't think that's an option. If he's trying to do it, I don't think it's there.
No, I don't think it is either.
I don't think it's there.
Where that 4 is, he needs a little bit more room, because getting between the 4 and the cushion, it's just too narrow of an angle. He wouldn't be able to get at the 2.
But what he can't afford to have happen is for him not to disturb the balls the way they're lying now, because if he doesn't disturb the balls the way they're lying now, it's the gimme out for Immonen. 2-9 billiards, a hanger. So he has to disturb the balls. So this may force him to shoot into this rail here and come out and try to hit the 2. If he chooses to do that, it's highly unlikely, only in my opinion, that he'll be able to do it.
He's having a look, Bill, at the side cushion with a lot of spin. He's had a couple looks at it. You can see where he's holding his Q-tip there.
See, now look,
very little room for error.
Yeah, I don't think there's much opportunity for him to do that successfully using the other route. Now he's looking to go across this way. But if he happens to hit is it the 5 ball or the 3 ball in the center of the table, he's going to create a big problem for himself here. He's going to give this game to Immonen. See, he's going to lose the game. Immonen's going to play the 2-9. See, the other route probably was the best route, even though he couldn't hit it because he would move the balls around and make Immonen's job a little bit tougher than it is now. But now all Immonen needs to do is pocket the 2-9, and he'll go to the lead once again.
Well, that's just how good Immonen's safety was from the kick.
That's how fortunate he was, I might add. You know, because he certainly didn't play the results of that shot. Quite fortunate. And there is that little element of luck in 9-ball that can sometimes determine who wins or loses matches.
Yes, and the timing is everything, isn't it? That one at 5-5. You might want to mark that one down on your score sheets if you're keeping track at home, because that could be a turning point.
And stuff like this is so hard to mentally deal with. Now, you know, in Archer's defense, he has to sit in that chair, and he's probably saying to himself, you know, I didn't do anything wrong. I played an excellent safety, only to walk to the table in an impossible situation. I didn't deserve that. He has to brush that off and come back, and next time he's at the table and do well.
No, that's right, Billy. 6-5 now the score in Mika Immonen's favor. And he'll be breaking in rack number 12, looking to increase that lead. At one stage, Archer was 3-1 in front. That's the only 2-rack lead that we've seen. Neither one of these two have been able to pull away and open up anything to get themselves into the comfort zone.
Immonen has been getting a lot of good positive action to the lower right-hand corner. 8 ball in the corner pocket, 1 ball coming to rest at the other end of the table. Cue ball in a very suspect position at this end of the table. He's going to have a very difficult push here, Jim. He may even have to push for a kick on the 1. There really isn't a place on the table he can push. You know, he may be forced to push somewhere in this area right here, or even here, and force Archer to kick the 1 in. There really isn't any other area he can push.
Anytime that object ball that still remains on the table lands in close proximity to a pocket, it makes the push very difficult.
Now notice where he has his Q-tip. If he pushes here, he's looking for the player who accepts it to hit the 1, go to this cushion, and back around here. But that's very difficult to control. If I were Archer, I would give it back to him. Scratching in the side pocket is a very good possibility from the angle that he's left him.
That's just exactly what Johnny has done. And Mika, right now, is looking to try and weave that cue ball right back into the similar position that it's at now.
Yeah, a lot of problems out there for Immonen right now. He has to control the cue ball to get back down this end of the table where it is now. That's not going to be easy. He can only see the outside of the 1. Watch out for the side pocket. Very big pocket. Very big pocket. You know, that's a problem with that shot.
Well, Bill, what could you give me a tip on any numbers that are going to be coming out of the lottery? What a call by my co-commentator there. He plucked that one right out, the old soothsayer.
Well, when you worked enough hours up here, you're bound to get 1 or 2 of them right, you know?
Well, you hit that one dead on all counts. And again.
But Archer using fine judgment and giving the shot back to Immonen, you have to really applaud him for his decision there.
Billy, you took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say, just again, you've got to look at Archer's reasoning and putting Immonen back in. That's what's opened this opportunity up for him.
And that's once again the experience, a little bit of experience edge Archer has over Immonen. I didn't think it would make the difference, but in that instance it certainly showed up.
He's looking at the 2-6 combination here. He just wants to get this cue ball into the middle so that he knows he's going to leave the 2 on if he gets the 6. He'd like to have been straighter, wouldn't he, Bill?
Yes, he sure would have liked to have gotten a little bit straighter. Then all he needed to do is pocket the 2-6 combination, and everything would have taken its place. But now he's going to get a little more movement from both the cue ball and the 2 ball than he wanted to. But most importantly, he has to hit this with accuracy. Archer really seems comfortable out there, you know. Even though Immonen got quite fortunate in the last game to do what he did to hook Archer off of a kick, Archer seems to be able to have, you know, brushed that off. Next opportunity at the table, not only make a good decision with his judgment, but with his execution as well.
Just had to ensure to clear that 7 ball here, because he's in great position. This is going to be the key shot. That 4 looks like it passes the 5 to the bottom left corner.
Yeah, it does, but I kind of think what he's going to be doing here, I think he's going to be going 1-2 cushions toward it in this fashion. For some reason, I believe that's the way he's going to be playing it. Because he has very little room for error this way. He's going to be in close quarters. He hit it perfectly.
What a beautifully controlled shot that was from Archer. This 4 obviously passes the 5. And already, all the hard work has been done in this rack.
Yeah, but he can't afford to get careless, which I'm certainly sure he's not going to, because all the hard work, like Jim said, has already been taken care of. in this rack. Don't do something, you know, precipitous or hastily, and do something that is going to cost you the match or the game or the match. And when you have a player that the caliber of Johnny Archer with the experience that he has, that doesn't figure to happen.
And this 9 will get us back to familiar territory. Down it goes, and we're deadlocked yet again. 6 racks apiece, and effectively now this match a best of 9.
Nice rack. Hey, we're talking about the Club Rack, the official rack of the U.S. Open 9-Ball Championship. The Club Rack is precision made to pro specification from the finest hardwood for extreme durability by Diamond, the maker of the Diamond Pro Table. The Club Rack is available in 3 beautiful colors, oak, cherry, and natural. Visit theclubrack.com or call us toll free. Get the Club Rack. It's cool like it ought to be.
And Johnny Archer just doing a little bit of greenskeeping out there right now. But he's going to be breaking off in rack number 13, and he's hoping it's going to be a lucky one.
Excellent control of the cue ball off the break. The 1 ball may go into the corner pocket. All the balls rushed toward that corner pocket, but nothing fell. You know, that's quite unfortunate for Archer, that nothing fell into that corner pocket. There was a big traffic jam down there. And when that type of a thing happens, usually something falls. In that instance, nothing fell, come up dry on the break. And really, the way Immonen's playing, and Archer as well, you can't afford not to pocket a ball on the break.
No, and with a chance like this, also the way that Immonen is playing, you'd expect him to clear up here and go 7-6 in front.
The balls are spread quite nicely over the table. No traffic jams at all. No balls are tied up. And when the balls are laying that nicely over the table, these players are going to run it out 90% of the time.
Yeah, such has been the standard, Bill, that doesn't matter how many balls are remaining on the table. If they've got a shot, you're expecting them to clear up. Just a little off angle on the 2. Shouldn't pose any problems. He's going to have a nice angle on the 3.
Right, he was a little off angle. He would have liked to end up a little straighter on the 3. Not as thin as he did. Now he's going to have to reach, and then speed of the cue ball may be a problem because of his, now I shouldn't say inability to reach, because of his having to reach. Sometimes you lose the speed of the cue ball when you reach like this. So here we go. Let's take a look at it. He hit it with the speed to go 2 cushions. I thought he hit it, made a wise decision, but even in spite of that, he still ended up a little further from the 5 than he wanted to end up. Now he's a little awkward on the 5. This shot has to be hit cleanly. No, that's not going to go. That shot demanded a clean hit, and he didn't hit it clean. So therefore, I think, in my opinion, he's the first player at the table that's really given in a little bit in this match. It's the first ball that I thought shouldn't have been missed that was missed.
First glaring mistake from Mika Immonen.
So Archer seems to be the player that looks like has the upper hand at this point. And this may this might be the difference right there, that 1 shot. Immonen missed it badly. And you know Archer, the champion that he is, will do nothing but feed off of that miss.
And how many racks it will cost Mika Immonen, only time will tell. And if Archer has his way, he'd like to park Immonen in his chair for a lengthy period of time, Billy.
Exactly. If Archer goes on to win this game and end the match,
yeah, Mika can look back at this opportunity.
Exactly. That ball was a very, very crucial shot and badly missed. And this doesn't play as easy as it appears either, Jim. straight in. It's got to draw the cue ball straight back.
Yeah, these long straight shots, they're really a test of cuemanship, aren't they?
Certainly
You've got to
is.
just smooth that ball in and let that white feather back into position for the 9.
Got to have a good level stroke, good cue technique. He's got to make sure he stays down on this shot, not moving any part of his body. Notice how closely the cue ball is coming toward the 9. I thought that shot was handled perfectly.
Probably as well as he could have struck it.
This is game number 13. This match has gone exactly the way we expected it to go, Jim. Archer seems to be the player at the table with the momentum, and I think of the two players, the more confident.
Well, he's just put an extension at the back end of his cue so that he can reach this without using the rake. Nine down, and Johnny Archer once again 7-6 in front of Mika Immonen. Wants 4 more to stay undefeated in this year's U.S. Open 9-ball championship.
Well, he's sweating over there, but not because he's losing. Dan Malloy's leading 5-3.
He's got to come back up and hopefully shoot the 5 in the same pocket.
Well, that shouldn't be a problem. I think that was the toughest thing. It would appear now that the rack is his for the taking. And there it is.
Notice the cue ball. Center of the table. Bing.
Roddy's lucky to avoid a selection call. And as you can see, there's some action on table number 1.
So Johnny Archer with a chance to put Mika Immonen out of misery in this one, 10-7, and he'll be breaking now in rack number 18, one that he hopes will be the last.
Yeah, Mika really can't do anything about it if he doesn't get an opportunity back at the table. There's no guarantee that he'll have an opportunity at the table with Johnny breaking in this particular game, because all Johnny needs is one more game and the match is over. But I'm kind of interested in seeing how he responds to the challenge, providing he does get that opportunity. Archer shooting a 9-16, Immonen an 8-89.
The order of the day for Johnny here is a good break-off. 9, very close.
Immonen looks like he's going to have that opportunity at the table, and to make it even a better opportunity, he's going to have an excellent shot on the 1 with all balls spread nicely over the table. And it appears from my vantage point, the way the balls are spread over the table, no problems out there. Score right now 10-7 in favor of Archer. Shortly it looks like it's going to be 10-8, Jim.
Well, there's no time like the present for Mika, and he knows he can't afford any more mistakes.
No, you can just about call every pocket, with the exception of the 7 and the 8, because of their position in the center of the table. You know, 2 in the side, 3 in the lower right-hand corner, 4 in the left side, the 5 in the right corner, the 6 in the same corner or the opposite corner, depending on the angle that he ends up with on the 5. So, you know, that's all those are like routine. And considering the position of the 7 and the 8, he has multiple pockets to play position for both the 7 and the 8. No problems at all out there for him.
You still have to guard against complacency, though you really can't see anyone getting lackadaisical in a U.S. Open championship, can you?
And particularly Immonen, he's behind 10 games to 8. No complacency there. Okay, now it looks like he's going to be forced to play the 6 in the upper left-hand corner. I kind of like playing the other angle. Playing the 6 in the same pocket gives you more ability to play good position for the 7. But that's really kind of inconsequential at this time. He shouldn't have any problem with the remaining balls on the table here. Drawing at 2 cushions, playing the 7 inside now. Uh-oh, drew a little bit too far. He finds himself slightly out of line on the 7. Little things like that could cost him here. Nice recovery. But still, cue ball near the side cushion or frozen to it. Something that he didn't want to see happen. But in spite of that, he was able to handle the 8.
The former world champion stays alive in this one, pulls one back, 10-8 to Johnny Archer. But Immonen can rest secure in the fact he'll be breaking off in rack number 19 and still in with a chance. And that was a confident visit, secured all remaining colors and in pretty quick fashion too, Billy. But as you said, it wasn't difficult. It was just a matter of keeping his focus and his concentration because the balls were there to be taken.
Yeah, it was just like a super throw-in rack. The way the balls were lying on the table, you know, everything was in front of the pocket with the exception of the 7 and the 8, which could have been played into a number of pockets. So therefore, it would have really been surprising to me to see him not get out that rack. But a lot more work ahead of Immonen if he expects to win this match. Trailing 10 games to 8, he has to win 3 consecutive games. The balls have to roll for him. He has to make balls on the break, and he has to get a little fortunate on top of that. And he has to play well.
Big break required here for Mika. One into the side.
Oh, the cue ball got kissed into the corner pocket. Oh, what an injustice that was for Immonen, breaking the balls as well as he did. And he figured to come up with some kind of a shot on the 2, only to see the cue ball get kissed by a ball into a corner pocket. Really ill-fated Immonen at the table now, saying to himself, how in the heck did that happen?
Well, Mika unwilling to even leave the table. He can't believe how cursed he is right now.
And considering how effective Archer's been up to this point, Immonen doesn't figure to give us another opportunity back at the table.
And looking at the balls, Billy, I've got a feeling Mika's right. I don't think he's going to get another chance.
Okay, the problem right here is the 3 to the 4, okay? Now, if the 5 wasn't there, he could then play position on the 3 to go to the cushion and over here. You know, but the 5's there, so he's going to have to do something else. And he may even end up drawing back on the 2, playing the 3 on the side, coming down here for the 4-9 combination. That's a possibility too. See, now where he's putting the cue ball there, he wants to be able to go to the cushion and then come over here for the 4. He wants to run out, but if he's forced to play that combination, he's going to have to play it.
Well, it certainly won't hurt if he can play the 2 onto the 3.
And what he's doing now, he's playing the 2-7 combination.
Sorry, 2-7, Billy.
Now, this is telling me that he's trying to run out, because in doing this, he's clearing up the pocket for later on for the 6. That's telling me what he has in mind. He wants to run out, because playing the 2-7 combination is not necessary unless he has in mind running out, opposed to playing the combination.
He's eyeing it up very closely.
So he'll play position for the 2 in the same pocket the 7 goes into.
And our pocket camera is going to show you where the 7 goes, right into your living room. Well, now it's all going to depend on where he lands on that 3.
Yeah. Well, see, he's going to end up landing somewhere around here on the 3, because he's going to end up going one cushion, maybe even toward the 9. Well, it looks like he's ended up straight on the 3. This is very, very risky right here, Jim. Here's the problem with this shot. If he's straight in, he has to draw the ball straight back. If he draws it too far back, he's going to end up behind the 9. So therefore, in situations like this, you usually come back short of the mark.
He's gone too far, has he?
It's very close, Jim. It's very close whether or not he can pocket the 4 or not. He came back further than he wanted to. And if he can pocket the 4, look where the 5 is. If he can pocket the 4, the 5's here. Where is he going to end up? Here? Huh? I mean, shooting the 5 is not very enviable.
No, leaving himself straight on that 3 ball into the side pocket. That's the one that's manufactured this problem. I'm not even sure you can see the 4.
Oh, he can see it. He's leveling off now. He'll just He can. Matter of fact, he sacrificed the accuracy of the shot to attain a better angle and get further off that end cushion.
But all the pressure of a match winner, this 5, because if he gets it, the 6 is going to be there, and the 8 and 9 as well.
Exactly. Actually, the 5 is the 9. If he pockets the 5, you can just about say this match is over. A lot of pressure on this shot, and he's going to handle and treat this shot like it's a match winner.
A key moment in this match. And I think Johnny Archer senses it, so he's taking just a little extra time right now.
Yeah, that's the sign of a winner, Jim.
And experience.
Exactly. He knows that this is a match-winning shot, and he's going to treat it as such. He's going to make sure he's totally prepared to shoot this shot.
One thing about it, if it goes awry, it won't be from lack of effort.
Well, he hit it very nice.
He couldn't hit that ball any better.
And he's certainly glad that's over. Not there was any doubt, but that shot it wasn't a gimme by any means. Now the remaining 3 balls on the table, he should be able to handle, because all the tough work in this rack is over.
He's got a perfect angle on the 8 now.
Oh, yeah,
to
he
draw
can
off
feel
that
it.
side cushion, you bet he can. He can sense
feel
it.
He doesn't want to end up near that bottom pocket, though. That bottom left-hand pocket he doesn't want to end up there. He wants to make sure he doesn't hit it with the speed that if it goes in that direction, he ends up scratching. So you can look for him to come up short in the shot. See, he came up short on the shot. He didn't want to scratch, so he hit it with that force stroke opposed to the draw stroke.
Well, this 9 for the match and an 11-8 win. It's there, and Johnny Archer remains undefeated in this year's U.S. Open. An 11-8 winner over Mika Immonen. It was a terrific match, and Archer staying on the winner's side. We'll be back in a short moment with interviews from both players. Stay with us.
We're here with Mika Immonen, who has just fallen to Johnny Archer 11-8 in what I thought was a very superbly played match by both players. Mika, 9 balls a game of opportunities, and you just didn't seem to get the opportunities that you needed to get to defeat Archer tonight.
Yeah, I think the score doesn't really speak for the real excitement of the match, because we both played pretty good. I think one crucial error that I made was the 5 ball that I missed down the rail. I mean, I could have went up 8-7, I think, and it's a big swing, and then he ran that rack, and then he broke and ran another one, so that was like a 3-game swing there, and must have felt good to him. But I didn't get upset at any point. I was really composed, and I felt good about everything, but some situations that were just really tricky, and I didn't know, sometimes I just didn't know what to do, and I had to go for something desperate.
And that's exactly the way I saw it as well. There was a lot of situations out there that developed into dilemmas. You didn't know what to do, if there was anything at all to do. But sometimes 9 ball is played like that, and things like that happened. But you have to give credit to Johnny Archer. He played a superb match. Jim White is with Archer right now. Let's go over to see what Jim has to say with Johnny.
Billy, I can tell you, I'm here with a very relieved Johnny Archer. Johnny, you knew it was going to be tough, didn't you?
Well, first of all, I'd just like to say thank you to God, my wife, and all my sponsors, for giving me the opportunity to be here playing. But Mika's always, as he's won the World Championship, so I knew he's going to be tough, so I knew I had to really take advantage of all the opportunities that I get, and that's really all you can ask for playing this game is try to take advantage of what opportunities you get, because you never know at any time you might not never get another opportunity.
You took a little extra time on that 5-ball in the last rack, Johnny. You knew that was a match winner.
Well, I figured the angle that I had, if I made the 5, it was pretty much over. I knew all I had to do then was just, 6, 8, 9, and it was all pretty easy, pretty basic. So, I knew that one was basically like shooting a 9-ball, so I wanted to take a little bit extra time.
Well, along with Billy and Cardona and myself, we want to wish you all the very best. We know that Mika Immonen is going to be back on that B-side. Keep an eye open for him. But for all of us here in Chesapeake, just to confirm, Johnny Archer, an 11-8 winner over Mika Immonen. Goodbye for now.
Where can you find videos of the best players in the world in their entirety and without commercials? AccuStats.com. Only one place has it all. Check out our complete catalog on the net 24 hours a day.